Hey, thanks for reaching out. This is an interesting one, sleep, because we'll need to strategize because there's going to be just like Wikipedia or AI, there's like so many different things. So for example, if you go to the library homepage and type in sleep, there's probably going to be like millions. And there's like a bunch of broken links. I wonder what happened. So 8,000 books, view all the results, etc., etc., etc. It's a big mess. So here's your strategy. Generalized information is not what you're going to be using. So you need to find evidence-based information that you can use to highlight what you want to say. So if you're interested, you could go to Gemini and you could say, what are the main fields of study in sleep? So it's probably like sleep deprivation and mental wellness and fatigue and maybe like sleep quality and things like that. So you get to figure out what you want to write about sleep. Look at Wikipedia, look at AI, and figure out how they frame it. Then figure out what you want to say. But then let me show you a database that I didn't show in class. So if you go to databases, go to the letter S as in Stanley. This is a great tool for figuring out like the most impactful articles written about sleep in the last whatever years you want to do. Scopus. Or maybe I did show you this in class, but when you have too much stuff. So in this one, we could type in sleep. And there's like a lot. So what you could do instead is say, okay, I want to find stuff that has sleep in the abstract only. Well, that's 309,000. Well, let's just go to the article title. Well, that's 172,000. So you see the problem that I'm running into. So what I'd recommend after you narrow down just to the article, there's a variety of ways that you can narrow down. First one, come up from 1858. Might be a smidge out of date. So come up to the last like 5 years. Let's see, or like since the pandemic. I always like that as a benchmarker. So the last 5 years-ish. Then there's 63,000 with sleep in the title. So there's two things you can do. One, you can go into the subject area. So are you interested in medicine? It looks like there's like a ton in medicine, but it can also be like social sciences. So for example, one of the issues with homeless populations is that you can't get enough sleep if you're sleeping rough on the street. And so you're less likely to be able to overcome any barriers you've got, like depression or like finding a job. It's like if you have all this anxiety because you couldn't sleep, there's all sorts of issues. Computer science, engineering, dentistry, mathematics, energy, earth and planetary sciences. I don't know what they're talking about with that. So you might want to narrow down that way. Another way to narrow down is you can see keywords that they've got, but that's kind of up there too. So the best one is to go by whatever was cited the highest and then look for something that fits what you want to say. So what this means is out of these 63,000, this one, whoa, this is like just what I was talking about. So this one is so important that these 2,600 articles couldn't exist unless they cited this one. So here they talk about anxiety. So if you get bad sleep, you're more likely to have anxiety. There's a sleep apnea article, social support on sleep quality. So there you have a keyword, sleep quality. So what do you want to write about? You really could throw anything in here in the next line. Let's say, yeah. So if you're interested in talking about sleep quality, you could just add that, and then, of course, that one shows up again. You could talk about depression, or you could talk about caffeine. Did I spell it wrong? I spelled it wrong. What? I must have misspelled caffeine. You get the idea. So that's how I would narrow it down. By the way, in this database, to get the full text article, you have to click on this Find It. And if you're not logged in, it won't go to the library catalog. And then you would just click on any one of these, and it should send you to the correct article. Don't forget the trick that I think I showed you in class is if you want to really find the article and you can't track it down, go to the library homepage, put the article title in quotes. And you can find the article that way too. Ding, ding, ding. Let me know how it goes. Really cool topic. You're going to have to narrow it down to what you're interested in. In the Gemini or Wikipedia, look for those things that you're interested in.